to From the Pastor's Kitchen, where I get to share with you two of my greatest passions, my love for Christ and cooking. Hey, I'm going to do a dessert for you today, some cheesecake bars. But I'm going to use this Krusteaz recipe. I love Krusteaz. As you know, I love Krusteaz, especially the pancake mix and the waffle mix. I think it is the best. And so I'm going to take the recipe off of this box, but I'm also going to use the crust from the crumbs in this box and the raspberry filling to go inside of my Philadelphia cream cheese. So I have the crust here, the pie filling, raspberry pie filling. Raspberry is one of my favorite fillings to use. I have 2/3 cups of sugar, 2 eggs, a stick of butter, 2 packs of Philadelphia cream cheese that I let sit out and soften, and I'm ready to work this. So what I'm going to do first of all is work this mixture in, which is really, this is the pie crust, the filling for the crust, into this pan. And I preheated my oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to take the stick of butter that's melted, not totally fully melted. You don't want it fully melted. Not at all. That's my oven. Let me know that it has reached 350 degrees. You always want to preheat your oven. Okay? I'm going to push this down inside of here. That's all you're going to do. Flatten it out inside of my crust. And I'm going to take this crust and sit it in the oven and let it cook for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to, while this is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and do my pie filling. And then we'll come back in and fill it all in. It's not that difficult to do. 1 stick of butter is all that you need for this, because you don't want it real buttery and melting down in there, but you want a good pie crust. I tell you, Krusteaz is really, it's excellent for pancakes, and then I used another one for cupcakes one time too. Something really easy and simple to use. I want you to keep that in mind, because we have a lot of people that are not cooks. A lot of people don't enjoy cooking, and you want to do something fast, but you want to enjoy a meal made with your own hands. And so that's important too, that you do that. All right? See how I'm doing this? Building it up just like a crust. And all you needed to do is to use a fork and to get this in and mix it in rather well. 1 stick of butter is all I needed for this. I can smell it too. It smells good too. The crust. Love a good crust. Eventually I'm going to make some crust for you all, and then do some crust for my pies with you, and do crust for pizzas as well. My dad was a crust maker. He made everything from scratch. That is what he did the majority of the time. So I know how to do it. I just don't like to do it. Let me be honest. That's not one of my favorite things to do. But I figured I might as well show the technique off and share it with my P fam. All right? I'm just about done. I'm going to even this out in here. So all I'm going to do is spread this around here evenly. And it doesn't take long for that. And sit this down in the oven. The butter is going to break it up the rest of the way that I need it to do. Does that look like this broken up enough, Kyle?
Yeah.
Mixed in here pretty good. All right. Got my son home from school, my youngest now, from college, helping me out just to be my engineer for the day. My oldest one has been doing a fantastic job, so I don't want to forget him as well. This is my pie crust. This is all that I'm doing. I'm going to take my hands now and move it down in here, because I want to flatten this out. Don't be afraid of your food. See how I'm doing it now? I can feel the difference in it, because I feel the butter is mixed in with it too. I want a good firm pie crust in here, a crust at the end of this. It's going to hold together, and the butter is what's holding it together. Okay, that's how you do it. Mix it around in there. Wow, that looks good there, right there. I'm going to take this. My oven is already preheated once again at 350. And we're going to move over once we put this in here. I'm going to put this in the oven. Just the right size pan for this too, to fit this. That is done. I don't want to miss any of this in here, in this pan. Okay, take this and put this in the oven. Going to be 15 minutes exactly. So all I'm going to do is just sit it in the oven. Preheat it for 15 minutes. I'll see it. That is it for that portion. Swing around here, Kyle, and come around his side so we can get this Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm going to mix that up. Y'all, and all we have to do is just put, once that comes out the oven, then I'm going to put this pie together. That's why I say it's really simple. It's not that difficult. You capture the cream cheese for me? That's 2 packages of 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. I only use Philadelphia cream cheese. Some people use other creams. I don't use them. Let's hit the cream. I'm going to wait till it gets smooth. Then I'm going to put in my 2/3 cups of sugar. Shouldn't take long for this. This mixture, and this is going to be my mixture that's going to go in to my filling. Slow it down. Put the sugar in. 2/3 cups of sugar. Wow. See the mixture? Slow that down. I'm going to take it from around the sides of it and put it down in there. Make sure it's down in there well. All of the cream cheese off of here. Sometimes you need to do that and get the sides of your pans too, because it's whipping it around the sides. Put it in there so we can get all of this, all of the cream cheese off of there. Get it rather well down in there. Put that down inside of there. Lift it up. Let's go. It's really smooth. That's what you really want to get. Back up for me. Let me get mine. I'm going to use, for me, vanilla. Slow this down. A little bit of vanilla, a half a cap of vanilla, and one of my favorites is almond. You got to make the recipe your own. A half a cap of almond in there to add some flavor to this, along with the raspberry that's going in there. All right, there we go. Slow it down. 2 eggs now. Beat the eggs in. You don't want to beat your mixture too much. Just want to blend it well. See how I blend it? That should do it. All right. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to wait till my crust cooks for 15 minutes. Then I'm going to mix in the raspberry with it, and we're going to put it back in the oven for another about 25 to 30 minutes. All right? We'll be back. Hey P-Fam, I am back. I'm ready to take this Philadelphia cream cheese filling and place it down into the pie crust. Now the pie crust already cooked for 15 minutes. You don't want to let it cook too long, okay? And so I'm going to actually take this filling and put it down inside of here. Try to make sure I get a little bit around the entire pan here. I'm going to spread it out in there too. I think I have more than enough of this. Don't need a whole lot of it. It's good to get all of the drippings out of this container here. Every bit of this pie filling here, I'm going to take and get out of here. Still have more in here. Like a tablespoon more. Every bit counts while I'm doing this. Get it all down in there. See that last little drippings of it. Okay. Then I'm going to take it and spread it across the pan here. Make sure I fill it from end to end. Here. See how that went through there? That was good. It's evenly in there. Now I'm going to take the raspberry filling that I have and place it down in here. I'm going to swirl it in. I'm going to put this in here a little at a time here. I'm going to swirl it in. I don't know if I'm going to take this whole package and put in here. But we will see, because we want the filling to go throughout of here. And I'm going to insert it and put it in a little bit better than this, so you'll be able to see it. And then we're going to put it back in the oven again. Okay. Let's do that first. Now, this, and swirl it through. And swirl it through. See how I did that? Mm-hmm. See how I swirl it? Swirl it down inside of there. so you get enough of the filling around in there. Swirl it around, and it gives you a nice little design down inside of there. You know, within every bite you're going to have some raspberry filling in there around in every bite. I'm going to take a little bit more out of this package. I see that I can use more of this. Let's go around the edges on the side here so I can get all this down in there on the side over there. All of this packaging comes within here in this Krusteaz box, so I can get every bit of what I need inside of here. I don't have to do anything else. Out of one box I did, it's simple. You're just going to add Philadelphia cream cheese in there. All right, get this off my hands. You know, we're so accustomed to licking it and licking our fingers, but if that's what you choose to do in your home, then that's okay. Nobody else will be watching it, but I don't think that would be right for this presentation, so I won't do that. Just fill this in all the areas here. Try to get a little bit around in every space here, in every corner. Then I'm going to take this and put this back in the oven. Excuse me, y'all. There we go. Yeah. That's good right there. I'm going to take this now, put it back in the oven. It's already set for 350 degrees. It's going to cook for about 30 minutes. Okay? And once it's formed all up, then I'll come back with you with the final presentation. That is it. Raspberry swirls. All right, we'll be back in 30 minutes. Hey P family, I'm back with my final presentation, but before I do that, I want to share with you a word: laughter. Being married during this season. Proverbs 17:22 says, "A merry heart doeth good like medicine. A broken spirit drieth the bones." Well, a lot of times we talk about laughter. Find something to laugh about. Look at a comedy. Think about those moments in your life where you did laugh, especially during this season, because people are broken from what has transpired in their lives due to the pandemic. And it's real. I often say that it is a reality, but you have to face it, you have to acknowledge it, and then you have to move on. Okay? Just a word of encouragement for you. Any way that I can encourage you, I want to make sure that I can do that often. Laugh. Put a little bit more laughter into your life. All right, here's the final presentation. This raspberry squares. We're not going to cut it because they're still hot. You remember I swirled the raspberry in between there, so between every bite, we're going to get the raspberry in this cheesecake. These are cheesecake raspberry squares, okay? And I used them off of the box that I used, the Krusteaz box of raspberry squares, and I used Philadelphia cream cheese on here. So once again, this is the final presentation. Most of all, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Share this with someone else during the holiday season that they can make these raspberry squares. They're very simple. And subscribe. Please subscribe most of all. I thank you for subscribing, and provide me with your comments that are very important for me. Let me know what dish you would like for me to prepare for you next. Let me know what dish you would like for me to prepare for you next.